Now that Chief Justice Christensen has made it official, it's an honor and somewhat surreal to be standing at this podium as Iowa's Lieutenant Governor. It's surreal for exactly the reason why Governor Reynolds just mentioned a moment ago. I never planned on entering public office, let alone imagined that I would ever be second in line to Iowa's succession. In other words, this is a humbling responsibility for me, and Iowans can be confident that I will always approach it with the seriousness that it deserves. That's why I want to thank you, Governor Reynolds, for placing your trust in me. I am deeply honored to join your team, and I look forward to, since I've already worked with you as a legislator and I admired your administration as an Iowan. And that admiration goes back a long way. I first met Lieutenant Governor Kim Reynolds in 2015 when I was the president of the Quad City Engineering and Science Council. We were having a Girls in STEM luncheon in Davenport, Iowa, and she was our guest of honor. Having someone of her stature in attendance was a big win for us, and I was even more excited when I heard her speak on a subject that I cared so deeply about. She spoke with passion and understanding about how a new hands-on, work-based learning paradigm could modernize our economy while reaching underserved students of all stripes. And just as importantly, she had bold ideas for making it happen. Over the years that followed, it became clear that I had gotten a preview of things to come. Governor Reynolds has had remarkable success making her vision for education and much else a reality, and she's done so with all the energy and creativity and courage that was on full display almost 10 years ago. Having partnered with her as a senator since 2019, I've gotten to see it firsthand. She isn't afraid to tackle tough problems, from tax reform to education freedom to mental health and so much more. She also has a rare gift for getting stakeholders to the table and a tenacity to champion a cause through to completion. This results-oriented approach to work and service is inspiring to me, in part because it mirrors my own. Whether I'm programming software in the private sector, or in a classroom with students, or in a committee room crafting legislation, I'm there to do a job. The same is true in the role I'm taking today, which involves advancing the governor's agenda in any way I possibly can. As Governor Reynolds mentioned, her ongoing efforts to make government work more effectively, as well as to equip our students with 21st century skills, dovetail especially well with my background in K-12 education, computer science, and artificial intelligence. Growing up in the 80s, I had a subscription to PC Magazine and a treasured dot matrix printer. I even did an 8th grade science fair project on artificial intelligence. So basically, I was a computer nerd before it was cool, and not much has changed. I worked professionally in the technology sector for decades and continued to work on these issues in the Senate. As chair of the inaugural Technology Committee, I wrote the bill that made Iowa the sixth state in the nation to protect consumer data while strengthening cybercrime and public notice laws. Finally, as a school board president and active substitute teacher in my districts, I've personally witnessed how STEM and work-based learning can bring concepts alive for students and set them on a path for long-term success. Taken together, my experience has repeatedly taught me the amazing potential of technology to transform legacy systems, grow Iowa's economy, and empower students. This vision has always been at the heart of Governor Reynolds' agenda, and I couldn't be more excited to join her team and do my part to implement it on behalf of Iowans. Thank you.